Keep it pyro.
It's Pyro Radio, Flip Life Radio Show.
That song was fire.
Son of RUBYXHAZE, who we got in the building with us. Thank you for coming.
It's all right. Thank you for having me.
So we've been having a conversation here. What we do here, we tend to just try and throw straight in the mix of what we've been talking about, and just get the kind of raw reaction. So we've been talking about cancel culture, which I guess is a kind of big topic at the moment that kind of ties into a lot of things. But the first question I've been asking is, does cancel culture exist?
Yeah.
What do you think it is, or what's your examples of it?
Well, there's a. I feel like the examples I have of it are stuff that should actually technically be cancelled anyway. So it's not that. Yeah. I feel like the Wiley side of cancel culture, maybe not so much. The paedophilia side of cancel culture, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think people they're reaching a bit.
They're reaching. That's similar to what we've been talking about, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really get into should people be cancelled, but that is a question I was gonna ask. But Wiley, as an example, has come up quite a lot. So, but do you think he's been cancelled? What do you think about what's happened?
I feel like they tried to cancel him. I don't feel like he's let it happen. He just comes back fighting each time, which is, I think, what should happen.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone's been like successfully cancelled who weren't supposed to be?
Who wasn't supposed to be?
Yeah, like no nonsense.
I was about to say nah. I don't feel like it. Nah. I feel like the only person who didn't really deserve it was the Wiley thing, but he's not let it affect him too much. He keeps going, so
yeah, true. I can't think of.
I'm trying to think of.
We struggle to think of any examples where it's really, really happened. Yeah? 'Cause even like we talk about R. Kelly, yeah, and people. That's an example people bring up like, he's been cancelled. But we're just saying like he's had his whole successful career and everyone knew what was going on and nothing really happened to him. He was blessed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess then we haven't talked about Weinstein and all them guys a lot either. In that a lot of people,
that's Hollywood law, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's kind of how the whole Me Too movement started. I think was with Weinstein, right?
And Cosby. Yeah.
I honestly look into
I'm not
that
too
side.
clued up about the Cosby thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. We ain't spoke about that. We probably should have tried to look into that. Because he got out of jail, innit? So he got cancelled and then kind of came back. And now R. Kelly has apparently R. Kelly has apparently hired his lawyer.
It's too late for R. Kelly. R. Kelly needs to just accept what's happened and just keep moving, because R. Kelly needs to just allow it.
Do you think? I was thinking. So I play your record, Letter to My Ex, there, and I watched the MTV documentary yesterday. Yeah, so I kind of thought that ties into this conversation a bit as well, because then there's people in the music industry that have like men who have done kind of horrific things, domestic abuse and that kind of thing. So you think them kind of people should be cancelled in that situation?
100%.
And you mentioned something about, I watched an interview of yours yesterday with you said in court or something your case was compared to the DVS.
Yeah, it got compared to that.
Yeah, because to me, that I do say I don't think people should be cancelled and all that. But when that DVS thing happened, I done a video on YouTube and I caught mad heat for this.
Do you know what it is? I feel like this is gonna sound so backwards, but I feel like there's certain levels. Like there's a stage, even in like if you're coming away from cancel culture, I think there's a stage where you can kind of claw it back if you do the work and you do the self-education, whatever. But I feel like when you get to the stage where your stuff's being compared to DVS.
Yeah.
Give up, because
do you think
you're
that
tapped?
So do you think there's no redemption for some people?
No.
Yeah.
No. Like even the Octavio thing, like hearing like some of the facts about
that was mad. We spoke about that probably. We were probably on radio when that happened.
That was mad.
And that did actually shut him off though, innit?
Yeah.
It did. And again, it's an example where it should have. What do you think he could have done anything where it could have fixed it and it would have been alright?
He could have just not put his hands on a woman. That would have stopped it all from happening.
Facts.
But yeah, and I think, do you know what it is? It's dumb, because if you're going to do that in your personal life and you're just your average citizen, it's bad enough. But if you're going to do it where you know you're in the public eye, you're just stupid. Because did you think that that was going to come out, people were going to be cheering?
Yeah.
No. No.
But a lot of people, there are people who are cheering though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're going to get that in everything now, and they're just sick in the head as well. More time, they're the people that are going home and probably doing the same thing. So,
since the documentary dropped, like, have you been speaking to other people that's like Like you've been getting support.
I've been getting, I mean, support sort of personally. I've done all my therapy and all of that stuff, so I'm kind of like, I'm supported up right now. I'm all right, but like I've been reached out by quite a lot of people saying that like it's helped them and they've been in a similar situation and stuff.
You think it's common? It's like it's mad common.
It's very common, yeah. It's very, very common. Obviously, like sort of reminding people that it's not physical all the time. Do you know what I mean? So I think that documentary was a good eye opener for people who just thought, oh well, that they were just like they didn't think that the emotional side was actually abusive until they realised that they're being isolated and stuff like that.
Or you mean like victims, like people that are going through it?
Yeah,
didn't
so like
realise...
I've had people message me saying that I didn't know that I was in a situation like that until I heard you lot sit down and talk about the non-physical abuse.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice to know that it's helped people.
How did that come about that you got involved in that documentary actually?
So I used to volunteer with a charity called Youth Realities who help young women, girls who have either been through domestic violence, who are sort of vulnerable to it, maybe from home situations, and also just educating young girls and young men as well. Like they do a lot of work with schools. So they got approached about the documentary and sort of said, oh, we've got Ruby here. She, had obviously a story to tell sort of thing. She's done work with us, etc., etc. So yeah, it was through them. We actually they came and sat in on a session with us. With a group of young women. That wasn't put in the documentary.
Yeah.
What type of things do you think like lessen it in society? Like what type of things do you think will stop it or like help cut it down at least?
Do you know what? I don't feel like there's anything that's ever gonna stop it because I feel like it's always gonna be there. But I think educating younger people, because I think there's a lot of that. I grew up witnessing it, so I think that's why I was more susceptible to accept it because it was like, oh, this is just normal. I even said it in the Bobby interview, like I was just taught you stand by your man. Like it doesn't matter what he does to you, you just stand by him. Like you keep everything private, like behind closed doors sort of thing. And I think just teaching younger people that that's not what we're doing.
Is that part of it?
And it goes both ways. It's not just obviously for men who are doing stuff to the women. It's vice versa.
Is that part of it? You think that kind of programming, stand by your man, all these kind of narratives?
It's the community as well, because you might find like if you're growing up in the hood, that's gonna be in your head 10 times more. You stand by your man. Yeah. Like it doesn't matter if he cheats on you 20 times or he beats you 20 times. Yeah. You stand by him, and it's dumb. Like it's stupid. Like it's dumb. Whereas if you go to, I don't know, like some private school where, mummy and daddy are at home, they've got lots of money. As soon as the man does something, it's more like outrageous. Do you know what I mean? Not always.
I think you got a point. I think you got a point
that
it
I'm articulating it right. But
no, I hear you. No, definitely. But I think it's still prominent in them communities.
Oh, it's definitely
well.
Yeah, they just stay for money instead of
they get away. They get away with it loads.
I feel like though a lot of the time they almost, when they do speak up, I feel like they speak up almost a little bit sooner. I feel like they get to breaking point sooner because they're not necessarily conditioned. Like if you're growing up in the hood, you're desensitized to a lot of stuff anyway. So you're conditioned to kind of
your options are different.
Yeah. So I mean, I tried to leave multiple times. And it was like, well, where am I going? Like, it's not. Yeah.
Did you ever feel like when you got asked to do this documentary, there would be something difficult for you to do that you wasn't ready for?
Not really. Like I was obviously a little bit dubious because I was thinking I don't want any backlash from
like
the man with no name.
Situation,
but at the same time, it was needed. Yeah, it needed to be done. And I think by then, obviously, because I was already doing music, it was kind of like, well, I'm out there anyway. So
yeah, because I saw you said that song was the first song you wrote.
It wasn't even written as a song. It was just written as let me get this off my chest.
Okay.
So I had to tweak it a little bit, obviously, to turn it into something. And then we released it as an IGTV freestyle at the start of the year.
So you've just come out in the game, no fear of like being open and just letting yourself out.
Being open doesn't really, like, getting it out there to start with isn't a problem for me. I find listening back to it sometimes a bit like, even when you played it, I was a bit like,
I feel you.
Just gonna look at the wall, like,
I feel you. I feel you 100%.
Yeah, getting it, like, the project is very deep. It's got a lot of deep stuff on it.
Is there any kind of backlash, I guess, for you in this age with the comment section and that? Because I was saying about like Dave Chappelle and all these recent things, even Wiley and that. The comment section sometimes is worse than what the person said. Like people say some wild stuff and
do you know what? I don't really get a lot of comments on things that I've said as such. Any comments I get are normally appearance based, and I don't even delete them. I just leave them there. I don't really care. Yeah. But I noticed in the comments from the Bobby Kasanga thing, a lot of it was like, oh, It was that toxic. Yeah, it was that kind of like men needs to put their women in their place. And that
Yeah,
kind
I
of
saw
stuff.
some of that.
And I just thought, all right, like,
Bloody hell.
So that's not going to phase you and that either.
no, not really.
So how do you
'cause I've
deal
heard
with
it
like
all.
negativity in the comment section? Just
I don't.
ignore
I
it
just,
straight.
yeah, I don't have to deal with it. So
Yes.
if it's not immediately in my face and a threat or a worry, why am I gonna? I'm not gonna lose sleep
What
over
if
it.
like people are coming at you personally, like strangers? I mean, yeah.
That's their business. If they want to sit at home and take up 10 minutes of their day, an hour of their day, however long, projecting
think-
hate to me online, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
You're just getting me views and engagement.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when that YouTube check comes through or the whatever, it's
thank you.
thanks. Yeah, like I don't really.
Yeah.
And you're behind a screen. That's what I mean. Unless it's in front of my face, and even then,
So
still
you're not,
untouched.
you're not,
So it's
you're
like,
not just there blocking people in the
no,
comments and
I don't really.
don't
Do
block
you know
them.
what? I had to block someone. Was it yesterday? I think for the first time in ages because she kept commenting on all my posts saying "Miss La Familia, I miss La Familia." I thought, oh my god, go away. Like, it was weird, but she wasn't saying anything bad. She was just being annoying. I just thought, no,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
annoying me now. But yeah, I don't block people like that.
Was she commenting that just trying to make comparisons or?
Do you know what? She commented on one of my posts a couple weeks ago, one of the two, saying something like, "Oh, why are you rapping like that? Man, them won't like it." I said, "Why do you think I do this for man, them?" Like, okay, you clearly that's where your head's at. You do everything for man, them, but no, that's not what we're doing.
No, man,
And
them
then-
like it though. Still,
Yeah, man, them like that.
definitely.
Really, like, I mean, it's great that they do, but
Yeah, no, I know
I
you're
don't-
not, but I'm
it's
saying
not-
they
yeah,
do.
like-
Like more time, like like the rappers that man them are calling out the most is like, I guess the kind of more sexualized rappers
that's
anyway.
everything
Man
that
them
I'm
are
not trying
calling
to
them
be.
out. They like that too, but they pretend they don't. You know what I'm saying? They're more like shutting it down.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, I just left that comment there, and then
Yeah.
about 10 minutes later, I think she realized that it just looked stupid. She deleted it. Then she
Shame.
commented a couple other things, then deleted them. Commented, deleted. Like she's done it about 10 times, and then yesterday was the third time I've seen her comment, "Miss La Familia." I just
Yeah.
thought, oh my god,
Yeah, let it go, innit?
leave me alone. Like you're being annoying now.
I think I don't know, man. I think you're handling the way you handle that kind of thing and that you come out and spoke about is very brave. Is there any like advice you could give to young women, girls, young people who kind of are faced by that kind of thing?
Just leave. It sounds.
I don't
so
even
much
mean
easier
just
than-
relationships, but like this kind of like
Oh,
the comment section, being able to speak about like what you're going through because like to
live
make
your
that
truth.
song is not easy.
just live your truth. Like I spent years, like even, and people don't believe it, but when I was in school, I was really timid. Like I wouldn't say boo to a goose. So it's like now that like no, like as soon as I realized that actually, what's gonna happen if I just keep shit real? Nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just say that, to be honest. Keep it real and live your truth. That's
Yeah.
in whatever you're doing. You don't have to be open and telling the world your business or whatever.
Yeah.
But even if you're just living your little private life.
Yeah.
that's my favorite rappers though. The people that put their business out there and their music and that. I don't know why.
Then no one can
There's a level though, innit? Like it's,
Yeah, of course. But then people can't use it against you so much. I mean, they can, but then like you say, you've already proven it don't
prepared
phase you.
yourself,
And all
but yeah,
that. It's
that's
like-
the thing, and I think because of the stuff that I've put out and stuff that I've spoken about, it's like even in the interview when I actually kind of listened to it back and I thought, wow, I really told them why we argued.
Yeah,
That's
that
mad.
interview was deep. I can't lie. I wasn't expecting when I watched the other
Neither was
interview.
I.
I was like, yo.
But it was like when I actually watched it back, I kind of thought, wow, like I really let it all out and just told them everything. But again, it was like, well, I don't really. Yeah.
Is that
why not?
is that therapeutic to you as well? I know you talked about the music being therapeutic, but just speaking about this stuff in general.
I don't know if therapeutic's the right words.
Yeah.
I feel like it always reminds me how far I've come.
Yeah.
But I don't know if therapeutic.
Would you advise people to do therapy?
I'd say yeah. I turned it down and tried it about 5-6 times before I
Yeah.
did it, and then in the end, it was like, we're gonna section you.
Because that's.
So I was like, all right.
Oh no.
All right, I'll take it. But and then yeah, it was great. But yeah, I would say definitely.
Because I think there's a big stigma about that, especially like you say in the hood kind of communities. I've
You've
done
got
a
to find a therapist that works for you though.
No, that's true. I've done a lot of therapy, and some of it's worked, some of it hasn't.
Some of them are proper like, how are
Yeah.
you? Like that patronising.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work at all. Like the
Yeah.
one I had for the first couple of sessions, he left like really big gaps in between like sentences, and it was like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? And then when I kind of just said to him, I'm not gonna lie, like if this doesn't change, I
And
just won't
sometimes
work.
they,
And then
sometimes they're just looking for that cliche reaction, like you're gonna fit into this little box that they've already got there. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what?
You lot ain't selling this therapy thing well, you know. I ain't
No,
gonna lie.
it's wicked. It's wicked. When you find one that works, it's wicked. But I watched I was watching Happy Valley last night or this morning, whatever. And some drama on BBC, and one of the women was talking to whatever in the storyline, and she said she was going through therapy, and she said, I feel like the guy is leaving spaces, like open spaces, hoping that I'm gonna fill it with shit.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I am. And she was like, and I don't know why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But obviously it's stuff that she needed to get off. So I feel like, it's a bit cliche, but
they want
I
you
wanna
to
work,
speak
innit?
in it like a lot of the
Yeah.
time, innit? And it's sometimes if you're not ready to, sometimes
Yeah.
then I had a therapist once where I would go in. This is the last time I've done therapy actually. It's the longest, and I don't think it was the best. But like when I sit down, they would say nothing.
yeah.
Like I'd just wait for me. They wouldn't like say hello.
But it's awkward because I
And I'm
found
like-
myself looking. I've never looked at a clock so much in my life. I'm looking at clocks. I'm looking at walls, windows, chairs because I can't do eye contact with a stranger for that long. So he would just sit there and be like,
Don't you just lie on the couch and look in the
oh,
ceiling
no,
like
no,
the
no,
movies?
we're not in
and that?
America.
Yeah, couch. You know.
And maybe if you pay privately.
What?
Yeah,
I was gonna do that.
You're sitting on
You're
hard
gonna be in a
plastic
little
chairs.
room.
We're not rich yet. Like,
What wee tech therapy are you not going to? Nah,
The
listen.
NHS?
NHS.
yeah, the one we pay our taxes for because
Yeah.
I'm
Why
not
went-
paying
and they got you
£40 an
sitting
hour
on
to tell
hard
someone else
plastic
my
chairs.
problem.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
it's just
so.
solving my problems for that £40 an hour.
No,
I can't even on Zoom now. I swear we're living in
I had one with a
2021.
cushion though. I had one with a cushion chair still. But that wasn't the NHS. I left the NHS.
I'm not gonna
one.
lie, there was a hole in the chair that I used to sit in.
Look at Nova being bougie with your cushion on your seats and that.
I went to what is it
Probably
called
getting
now?
coffee out of a machine. And everything.
No, it's called Calm. I think the organisation. The organisation I think it's called Calm or something. There's one in every borough in London, and you can go to them.
Okay.
And I was doing a therapy with the NHS, and it was like CBT. It was rubbish.
Yeah.
And
I think it was psychotherapy or something.
Yeah, that's the proper.
that,
That's the
yeah.
proper therapy. So I was like, that's what I need. And the CBT therapist, they don't usually give it to you on the NHS, but you can
Yeah.
get. It's hard to
Yeah.
get, and that's
You have
what.
to have like proper like big diagnosis.
Yeah, exactly.
section.
Yeah,
But-
yeah. But that's
But
the
it
problem to me. That's why I push this a lot.
Yeah.
'Cause I think people should do it, and I don't think it's
100%.
accessible enough. But they sent me to somewhere called, I think it's called Calm. I need to get this right, and if I'll put this online. But you have to pay for it. But it was like donation. You can pay a £5 if you
Oh,
want.
okay. So you basically pay what you can afford.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
quite good.
And it
still.
was better than that. It was
that's
like
fire.
you got like 24 or something like that sessions rather than where the NHS
Okay.
one they give you like 8 or something.
That's
Yeah.
why they
Yeah.
don't advertise it locally, cause
Yeah.
No, they do. Like, that's, you might have to go on the waiting list
because
because they've got them.
if it's a donation £5, they're not getting no £5 from the ends.
No, you have. I think you have. There's a minimum. There is a minimum kind of thing you have to give or whatever. Like, yeah.
Notes, coppers. If there's no minimum,
Give me my
no,
bare
no,
change.
like, do you know what I mean? Just put like a little.
I think it's.
Take me the session till
might
next
slightly
round.
be- They probably will. You know, what I'm saying? They're trying to look after you,
I've got
but
the Steve D player. Do you want it? Like,
Give man bare pennies.
Aye.
It's calm, fam. Don't watch.
it's calm, literally.
No, but it's income based, I think, in it. So if you do have an income on that, they'll
They
tell you.
expect
They'll
you
expect
to-
it to be a certain thing. If you don't, then I think it's like a £5 or whatever. Like that is
That's
the
mad.
low thing. But it's a good organisation still. But
All my depressed people, Google that.
yeah, I guess we
That's
should.
so unsupportive.
No, you know what? There's bare people in the room that look kind of sad behind the eyes. I was talking to them, but I acted like I was talking to them.
Well, it ain't us, is it?
He's a troublemaker.
Bare teeth over here.
yeah. This side of the room is bare happy. Can we talk about the music?
That's what I was gonna say.
I went no. As soon as you said that, everyone just went. Like, there, yeah. All right,
Yeah, no,
cool.
music.
Do you wanna know?
Music. I don't like to ask like influences and all that typical questions, but
Yeah,
like,
let's not do
what was you into? Though? What music you listened to growing up and all that?
I listened to mainly UK stuff growing up. Like I grew up like, you know when like mixtapes used to be on SoundCloud and stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
literally
yeah.
listen to the whole thing like it was like a 40-minute track or something.
Yeah.
That's what I used to like sit on the bus with my headphones in like. But yeah, like
So like UK rap.
yeah, like
era.
I grew up like when Nines Blue, Scrap,
Okay.
Yeah.
Grimsy a little bit, but not more so now. Pot of Paper, Mover,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
probably
can
others,
hear
but
it.
Devlin, that was I think one of the first CDs I ever bought.
Devlin blocked me still. That's a cancel culture thing still. Hey. No, Devlin blocked me because I called him out for something. No, he was doing some mad Brexit support thing, like, and he was
That means
posting.
I'm a head out.
I called him out for something. I said, nah, bro, that's not it. You know what I'm saying, whatever. And then, yeah, he blocked, man, kept it moving.
Oh, I know that.
And JME blocked me around the same time for talking about the
Brexit.
Solo 4-5 thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
It
Jamie
wasn't
don't
that
seem
rapist
like he's
thing.
bad Brit.
Yeah. Like, obviously,
I feel like I remember it, but I don't
yeah, like that's someone from Boy Better Know who recently went jail. So obviously, it was a mad case, and
like,
and like it, I think you know what? People were going at JME and Skepta and that saying, why aren't they saying nothing? And I'm not even saying they have to a degree, but maybe something for that community who's feeling a kind of way. But the thing is, JME, out of all of them, he had acknowledged it. There was some tweet he'd made where he'd acknowledged it kind of, but he didn't kind of, he kind of brushed off as if, you know, he wasn't 100% sure the details, or et cetera, et cetera. But he posted something saying, wash your hands or something, yeah? Or wash my hands, yeah? And it was like right at the start of COVID, and that Solo 45 story came out. So I must have just retweeted it and added him, and I was like, I can't tell if he's talking about COVID or Solo 45.
Man, social distancing from Solo 45.
Yeah, but he blocked man for it. I was just like,
I would love to see a list of all the rappers. All the rappers.
But you know what I think it is? Like, he was catching probably so much heat and comments and all that, but I was just being funny, you know what I'm saying?
Nah. It's because you... bare other rappers have cancelled you, and JME's been like, "Nah, he's all right, don't worry." And then he saw that, he's like, "Nah, it's coming from me."
Rappers, is that what you're doing?
Nah.
No.
But like,
I said bare rappers are blocked you.
there's a number of people that have blocked me. So this is not what this conversation is about. Oh, yeah, link up.
Nova's been cancelled.
Someone wrote that in a comment today. They was like, "Yeah, you should be cancelled." Like, they're gonna say you should be cancelled still.
That's rude.
Yeah. But
on
anyway.
your page.
On my own page. Like, I think they're joking as well, but that is true. And
That's what I'm saying. If you do start getting disrespect,
I don't believe
Nova's
in
got
cancel
advice
too much
for you still.
I'll just at him in the comments and let him deal with it.
No, that's true. I'm saying I can be a gunner out here certain
No,
times.
he definitely can. He definitely can.
But no, that's dope though. That you're saying you came up in that era of UK rap where it was, because that's like for me, for us, it's probably a mad different experience, because like when we was growing up, there was no UK rappers. There was like UK rappers that we was following and all of that, yeah, and we kind of got involved with, but it wasn't popping like that. And that era, I guess it was before quite it hit the charts as much. You probably had
you wouldn't hit any like of that stuff in
you
the
had
charts.
like your N-dubs and all that in the charts probably them times.
Nines and scraps was not in them times he's talking about.
Yeah. And the game's changed a lot. So did you grow up feeling like that's an option?
No, I never. There was never like, I want to do music.
Yeah.
Like that kind of. I'd say like maybe towards the end of 2019, and then throughout lockdown it strengthened.
Yeah.
But prior to that, it was just I loved music.
Yeah.
Never even thought of.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, like I did a couple little, like ad libs and that for the man them, like 2 vocals, but it wasn't. I'm gonna get up and rap.
Yeah.
So when did you decide? Yeah, I'm gonna start putting bars down on tracks.
Towards the end of 2019, I used to link up with my bro at his studio all the time, and we were just messing around one day, and it was like, oh, all right. Went home, slapped a couple of bedroom freestyles out. They kind of popped off.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, am I hard? Like, people are feeling this. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like made a little track, put it out, took it down. And then
Is that out now though?
Oh, it was. It's not anymore. That was like the start of 2020, I think. Yeah, the start of lockdown.
I must have seen that at that time. But I feel like I've seen your stuff.
That's what I was saying. I didn't even realise that I think we'd had each other on socials from like Facebook days.
I think I come across you from the mad groups.
And that, I saw you getting blocked. Now we think about it.
I caught mad heat in them groups.
Them groups.
But I did it on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no. I was never out there like that. Don't worry.
I know what groups you lot mean.
I don't know if he was. I don't know if he was in them.
Girls were doing it.
Yeah, certain girls was doing madness, but guys was doing madness. But I was in there, yeah.
Not doing madness.
I wasn't doing madness.
You lot are making it sound way worse than it was, you know. You lot are trying to make it sound like they're PG and you're making it sound filth.
There was a lot of, it turned into like,
yeah, but it turned into
for a little while.
Yeah,
and people used to just sit on the back bench like.
But there was inappropriate. There was certain like
more time it was just memes.
But there was certain inappropriate stuff that used to happen though. You know what I'm saying?
Talking and comments.
But I'm saying like something would happen. It was like a reality show of some sort. I kept saying they need to make a reality show out of some of these groups because
it was like Geordie Shore online.
Yeah, online.
Yeah.
And then like, but certain times like something would happen with the girl or whatever, and everyone's coming for it on a mad thing. So
to be fair, half of them deserved it.
No comment. But
anyway,
I caught the heat for defending a lot of them.
Ruby's like, stop defending these hoes.
For real, like it's a bit mad.
I don't really remember the details of how much of the heat I
Some
caught.
of those lives are engraved in my head.
Oh, I
They
forgot
don't
about the
need to be-
lives, you know.
Oh, were you in them?
I was not.
You might have
No,
been.
no,
No,
you
you
were
was.
live in the group.
Yeah, I was in the group. I was not in the live. Alright.
Like
Let me just
Nickers
say
getting
that
dashed in the road as suitcases.
No, but you know,
and
I'll tell you the
mad-
maddest thing. I'll tell you what I was catching the heat the most for, because there was certain conversations about racism that would come out in them. Yeah? But there's like a lot of like white girls in these groups that date black guys that would end up saying mad stuff.
I
You know,
remember putting one on blast because she was on live and she said, you probably know who I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm not going to name her. She came on the live with her friend who I've known for like 7 years. So I kind of had to pull her to the side and was like, chat to your brethren before she gets her kicked in. Because I'm not going to lie, she can't be doing that. And someone came in and I think she was singing along to a song on live and she said the words that she's not meant to say at
I think
all.
I remember this. I don't
And
remember
someone
who,
kind
but
of went, you said what? And she went, what? I'm not allowed to say. And she said it again. And I was like,
You did her accent very well.
Yeah.
You see,
I
there's
was
someone that's
like-
good at them.
It was awkward, man, and like
mad.
a lot of man them in there would kind of defend them and just, and that's why I was like,
Man, them was roasting.
that's where the cancel
Co-signing
culture needs to get in
whatever.
because
That group was
yeah.
ratchet. There was bare man.
anyway, pull it back to the music.
I don't even know how we got into that.
So you got your music. What you pushing at the moment? You got a couple singles out at the moment, right?
Yeah, so first things first is Out Married to the Game, Letter to My Ex. Obviously, there's a couple freestyles out on YouTube as well. The project's done, album's done, mixtape's done. Never know what to call it, but that's done.
Don't matter no more,
40
innit?
40
You
tracks.
you got
Playlist.
like, the songs I heard. You're like proper heart on sleeve stuff, innit?
Yeah.
So what's the rest of the project like? Because you're telling stories on these.
The heart's not on the sleeve; it's just gone. Like, it's deep still. But do you know what? I've kind of tried to balance it between.
So what are you covering? Like, what are you talking about? What's on there?
I talk about my kids, my dad passing, my childhood, obviously situation with my children's father.
But it's not always deep like that though.
No, like even though I touch on it, it's not all like
Yeah.
like oh my god, like it's not like
Yeah, no, because I feel like
I feel like
Yeah,
I've
nah.
articulated it well.
It didn't sound like
Yeah.
that on the songs.
Yeah.
innit?
yeah, because your music like it's vibesy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
you just say, oh, this is
I
what I'm
think there's
talking
only
about,
probably like
people might
maybe
think.
2 or 3 tracks that you'll actually have to probably be like, oh, okay, on the project. I think the rest of it is kind of like you'll hear it, but you can still,
Okay.
yeah, like I don't know what to compare it to, but like for example, I don't know, like you know when like one of these UK artists talk about their pain, they still do it in such a
Yeah, I got you.
it's
I
like a
got you.
tongue-in-cheek way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not too depressing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not slit your wrist music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
I
you.
haven't turned into like the Adele of rap or anything. Like it's not, you know, like where she goes like so heartfelt. Like I feel like I've not quite gone that far.
All right.
Well, they tried
Not
to
that that's a
cancel
bad
her,
thing.
you know.
It's not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the ultimate goal?
Oh, I never know how to answer this question. You know, I just want to be recognized for the work I'm putting in. I'd say that's probably the main goal.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing it for money. You don't really make money like that with the UK music scene anyway. So
No, you can though still.
you can, but
You gotta reach to
Do
it.
you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
up until that point when my bills are paid,
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to get the recognition I deserve for the work I'm putting in. Put some respect,
respect
on my name. Like, that's all I'm asking. I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
I think you're gonna get that, man.
Keep it pyro.